Ciao!
Ciao, Sari!
Ciao!
Well, you do not like to be told what to do.
No.
I know that's about
sure.
you.
You're fired. I was like, okay, it's fine. We're in La Boutin, super cool, like you're going
Dressed
there.
up.
Super smart, super cool.
You were like, this is how all the people look like in dermatology.
Basically, yeah. And it's like 2 years, you can't study medicine, you need to get married, have kids, blah, 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 blah. So like from that day on, I never worked again, though we get paid much less. Fuck them. Seriously. There was a guy that was doing exactly my job and his salary was higher than mine of like 20 grand per year.
Hi, my name is Tamta and welcome to My Kitchen, Her Story, where we celebrate all things female leadership. We aim to inspire, educate, and empower. Today's guest is a new mom. She is an incredible wife and even better friend, I would say. Alongside of all of these great characteristics, she's also a total powerhouse, an incredible, inspiring entrepreneur. This amazing woman is shaking up the fertility game by offering an egg freezing platform that empowers women to understand their fertility and their fertility journey and make informed decisions about preserving it. Please meet a co-founder of Amilis, Sarita Stefani.
Ciao!
Ciao, Sari!
tutti, ciao! Mwah.
You can tell she's a friend of mine. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
And of course, I mean, we wouldn't have a show where you are not a shining star of ours because, I mean, we've known each other for how long? Over 10 years?
Yeah. You were one of the first person I met when I moved to London. So.
Yeah,
Like we're
exactly.
family, At the beginning, you try to create your family when you arrive in a new city.
There we go. We are the chosen family of each other.
We are.
I'm so excited to dive into your story and actually talk about not just a super impactful business that you're running right now, but also your journey and what inspired you to get into this business. Also, I want to show your personal side to people, and we have the most precious cargo sitting there who we're gonna maybe give you a sneak peek of at the end of it, and talk about how it was being a new mom alongside of having another child. That's your business, and that's called Amilis. But before we go into all that juicy stuff, please tell me, what are we cooking today and why?
So, I'm Italian. For us, cooking...
No, you're Italian.
No. For us, cooking is very important. We do business eating. We love everything that is related to the cuisine and the kitchen.
Yeah.
So today, I'm cooking the pasta alla Nerano. Which basically reminds me a lot of my holidays in Capri, Napoli. It's a very typical dish around the Costiera Amalfitana. So, like everywhere you go, you will have the pasta alla Nerano, which is fantastic.
What does that translate into for those who don't know? What's La Nerano?
Alla Nerano, basically it's a place, it's a part of the Costiera Amalfitana. I think it's a city actually, to be fair. And then it was born there essentially.
Right.
There's like the king of the places where you can get with the boat and they do like the original one, but it's a place essentially in the Costiera Amalfitana.
Love it. Okay, well, I'll be sous chefing and helping and doing whatever you tell me to do.
Okay.
While we deep dive in your journey. So should we get some water going?
We get some water going and we need a frying pan.
We'll get you a frying pan.
Shall I get the water meanwhile?
Yeah, we have the sink is over there. Feel free to
let me
pop some
get it.
water in there.
Yes.
Sari,
Yes.
tell me, you had a really successful corporate career before embarking on the entrepreneurial journey. So I would love to touch up on that and how you got into that career actually.
Yes.
And how you got to London. Also, that's really relevant. Really loaded question. I'm asking you like 10 questions in one.
So we have first question. How I moved to London? I supposed to stay here 3 months, and it's been 13 years now.
13, yeah? 13. Yeah, 14 for me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So wait, why did you come?
I wanted to do an internship in an art gallery because I study art. Actually, my first bachelor degree is history of art.
Right.
My big passion. And then I moved to, how do we switch on this?
It's on.
It's on, okay.
I did it.
Perfect. Maximum, the water needs to boil.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
We'll get there, don't worry.
Yeah. So I moved here for an internship in an art gallery, and I wanted to practice my English and so on. So like I stayed 3 months, and then obviously, like I loved it. And I worked 3 more months in this art gallery, and then all the people around me, they were working in finance. So I realized that I needed to make money.
To survive in London.
And I applied for a master in finance, and then I started working in finance and so on. So actually my background is finance.
Right.
How do I end up working in the life science industry? It's an interesting point. I don't think I've shared this very much with anybody.
Oh.
But basically...
You heard it here first.
I worked at Reuters for a little bit, and I got fired.
Stop.
I swear. I got
I
fired.
didn't know that.
I got fired. Yeah. I got fired.
Why? What did you do? What did you do?
I have to be honest, like, it was not my favorite job, so like I was not putting too much effort on it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do think, like my boss was not really happy with me in general. Because it was a bit noisy, like it was not easy person to manage. Which
well, you do not like to be told what to do.
No.
I know that's
for
about
sure.
you.
And to be fair, like they had all the rights to, like I was not really feeling. So it was not like a big of a deal when I got when they break it out to me like you're fired. I was like, okay, it's fine. It's not gonna.
Not many people take it that way, no?
Well, it's a big ego shock, to be fair. Of course, like you just basically nobody wants to get fired. It's like basically like you're not doing something well.
Yeah.
But guess what? I did take it okay.
Yeah.
And it's and I got a call from a headhunter offering me the first job in the life science industry. So, from there, my background was mainly finance.
Okay.
And then they offered me a job in this company that was doing data for pharmaceuticals. So, like disease demographics, how many people get sick of what disease. So it's something very, very specific that I had no exposure to. So at the end of the day, I basically went to the interview. I loved the company. I literally loved it. I smashed it. I had like 2-4 more rounds of interview, but I really wanted that job because the industry was very cool to me.
So what was it that was so interesting to you there?
I think, I always wanted to study medicine or, I remember, when you basically are a teenager and your mom brings you to the dermatologist to check your skin, maybe you have some pimples or a bit of acne and so on. So I went to the dermatologist, and my dermatologist was the coolest woman on earth, like already like wearing Louboutin, super cool, like you're going there, super smart, super cool. So basically I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a dermatologist.
So because she was so cool and beautiful and fashionable, you were like, this is how all the people look like in dermatology.
Basically, yeah. That was like a taken from me.
Yeah.
And basically, yes, that was like, okay, I'm gonna study medicine. And my mom was like, nah, it's like 2 years. You can't study medicine. You need to get married, have kids, blah, 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 blah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, my mom is conservative.
Ah.
But now she gave up, of course.
You molded her.
So basically, went to all the wrong directions for her.
Right.
But I just basically I got the job, and then I started in the life science industry, which changed completely my life from there.
Right.
And from, I have to say one thing also, like from that day on, I never worked again because I loved so much what I was doing that it was effortless. It was like literally.
So we are gonna go into that cliche. It's like find something to do that you love doing, and you will never work a day in your life.
Basically, yeah. That's the idea. Do we have garlic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. So you enjoyed the job so much that you actually just felt that it was not work.
Exactly. That's the idea.
Okay.
And then after that, like my career went on because I think, when you also enjoy your job, you grow up a lot very fast. And then I started working for this company called DRG that I really enjoy. Then, I moved to another company, and then I ended up with Amilis. So
let's go a little bit back there and see how that journey was for you, because it's such a, it's a male-dominated world, but also equally you're very good as a person navigating through bullshit.
Yeah.
And you're very good at telling how it is.
Yeah.
And actually commanding the room, commanding respect, and actually making people accountable.
I mean, my first job was on a brokerage trading floor. I think
that really gave you a thick skin, I bet.
Yeah, I was like, I always said that after that I can be thrown in an arena full of lions and I can just fight them with my bare hands. That's for sure.
Really?
Yeah,
Would you say in your whole experience, your career, that was the most profound shaping one?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Yeah. And like I was basically, as I said, like it's a male-dominated environment, and I was like probably the only woman for 100 men, or like we were like 5 women in a room with 1,000 men. Like it's like that's the reality.
Especially at that time.
Especially at that time. Mm-hmm. I have to say, you need to have a very thick skin, but at the end of the day, like it did shape me quite well.
Right.
It was like I had to be strong, I had to perform more than the guys around me, which were, by the way, not even, their value was a quarter of mine, but I had to perform much less, and much more, to just be even treated equally. So yeah, that's it. But the life science industry, it's a bit better, It's not like finance that is like very well male dominated. In the other companies, I think like the ratio between men and women was quite equal. Though we get paid much less. Fuck them. Seriously. Like still we get paid less than men. I really don't know what the fuck is going on, but what's the rationale between that? I don't understand. And they still like, I'm part of the organization called the Healthcare Business Women Association. And sometimes they do show like data around gender gaps and salary gaps. And we get paid like a lot less than men. And I don't understand why. Well, what are we doing differently? I really have no idea.
Do you think that has changed though these days? Because
no,
a lot of people, you still actually believe that at that time when you were in corporate years ago, and now it's still the same pay gap?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, in some companies for sure. I mean, if you don't publish really like the salary for the job, there's always something going on.
Yeah.
I do believe that.
And there is not a lot of transparency when it comes to the pay.
Never.
So you're not able to really compare who is getting paid what and if you're getting paid.
That's the reality of the thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure that in the company I used to work, there was a guy that was doing exactly my job and his salary was higher than mine of like 20 grand per year. Like seriously. So, like I know this because we share this information between me and him. Which you shouldn't, so I'm not gonna say the company, otherwise I can. No, but it's true. That's the reality of the fact.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is crazy.
And so, because you mentioned your mom and specific future, I guess she saw for you. Was this your corporate career in line with what she thought she wanted for you?
Absolutely not. I think my mom, she thought that, when I was around 26, 27, I would get married to a good Italian man and then, start a family and be home and raise kids and stuff. But then, at the end of the day, she know that I'm like very strong personality and so on. And when she saw like that my career was going up and, I was just doing a job after the other, I was getting promoted and getting somewhere, she was like, okay. It's fine. Like this one didn't take exactly the direction that I wanted to, but it's okay.
Well, now you have a family. I'm sure she's over the moon.
Now she's over the moon. Yeah.
Yeah, but also, actually, I remember when we first, became friends and were hanging out. We were partying a lot.
Yes.
We were
having a good time.
Having a good time in London, but also I remember. As kind of like comparing stories of like we both had very traditional parents, and so I think subconsciously we still wanted that, we were craving that relationship and we wanted to meet that, the one. But both of our careers kind of really took us on a different path.
Yeah, I guess at a certain point, you have to, like, you decide, okay, I'm gonna focus on my career, and to be fair, I was never in my mind, like just to get married and settle down and so on. Then I met my husband, and I was like,
Who is not Italian.
Who is not Italian, not conservative at all.
No.
And like we basically, you know, like with him, I was like, okay, I can marry this one, you know, like this.
Did you know immediately?
Yeah.
Really?
Pretty much.
Within what?
We moved in together after 3 months. Like we were like, okay, you know what? I know it, you know it, let's do it.
Yeah, and I do think like up to a certain age, you know.
Yeah.
And you know yourself, what you want and what you don't want.
I think I was 28 and he was 27 when we met. And,
Maybe he's younger than you.
Yeah, he's 1 year younger.
Okay.
I'm officially MILF? No. Yeah, or what's yeah, I'm officially a MILF, or like the toy boy with the, Cougar, that's the word, that's the word. Yeah, here we go, that's the one.
And I think Cairo, is she waking up? Because I wouldn't mind having her on set, to be honest.
No, you want to see her?
Yeah. Awesome. So, after all of your corporate career, did you always know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
100%.
Really?
I think
it's not for everyone.
No, I don't think it's for everyone, but I'm not a person that really likes the, not routine, but like the safety of a job. I was always in between, like, okay, you know what, like, yes, I like my corporate career. I mean, you get a check at the end of every month, a fat check, and at a certain point you work not that much, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, it's always good to work for a corporate that is like very settled and everything. But at the end of the day, I always knew that I just wanted to create something meaningful and do like something good for the humanity in general. And I always wanted, you know, I like the idea to do a company that has a meaning. So that's why I decided to quit my job and then eventually started Amilis.
Right, and why fertility?
So, you know, another fun fact about my hubby is that his dad is a gynecologist. So he is. So as soon as we met, it was interesting because he was like, okay, guys, you're traveling around the world. He told me and to me and Mahi, you're traveling around the world, you're having your life, you enjoy going around and so on. But what about getting married and having kids? And we were like, okay, not really. I don't know if I want to have kids. And he looked at me in the eyes and was like, you should freeze your eggs. I'm like, what?
Did you know about the concept of freezing your eggs?
No.
How long ago was that?
I heard of it. Like when I met him, so I consider like I met him May.
Yeah.
And then November I met his parents of the same year, and he told me in November of the same year, you should freeze your eggs. And I was like, wow, mate, seriously? Like, I mean, why are you saying this?
I'm still young.
I'm still young. I still have a lot of time. And I was like, you know, time is passing by, and you like still like want your career and stuff.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it took me like around 2 to 3 years to realize, okay, like this guy is right. I'm gonna do it, and then I did it, and it was like one of the best decisions I ever taken.
What would you tell to women who are maybe even a little bit like me, who are like, well, I'm still kind of young. I don't even know if I definitely want to have kids. I love kids, but you know, I'm sure I can have them properly. I don't want to go through the whole hormone this whole process and injections. I hate injections. What would you tell them?
So, you know, at Amilis, we, of course, you know, like we provide help through the egg freezing fertility preservation journey. But one of the things that we always say to women is that there's the step before even considering egg freezing, because we hear it a lot today, and there's like a lot to understand for a woman before even considering egg freezing. That's why we're raising awareness, and we're raising a lot of education around it, and we handle we always say that we are the friend that tells you the truth. So, you know, what we are really promoting is that the awareness around the fertilities with the years goes down. For us, for women.
Yeah.
You know,
what's the age when it really kind of goes?
So after 35 years old, you'll have more chances of chromosomal abnormalities, miscarriages, and other conditions essentially that could affect your pregnancy. And because your eggs are getting older, right?
Right.
So the sooner you freeze them eventually, the better it is for the quality of the egg.
Yeah.
So that's the reality of the fact. However, you know, like what we are always promoting is that you should do a test before even considering egg freezing.
Okay.
From this test, you could find out that you have some condition that you never heard in your life, that you're not aware. You should have a vaginal scan. Some women arrive at 35 years old and they never had a vaginal scan and discover that they have fibroids. And they discover that they have other conditions. So, you know, like that's the reality of the fact. So all the educational part at the beginning for in Amilis, it's very, very important.
And you guys actually take them through all of this information and help them.
And we connect them with the doctors, and we do a lot of like awareness events, and we have a lot of things in the pipeline that we're gonna help with.
Yeah.
Probably even helping, you know, like paying for the treatment. It's something very important to us because the accessibility to it. You know, like it's egg freezing is still like a very expensive. Hey.
I am coming, baby.
Yeah.
She's awake.
She's awake.
Hi,
Yay.
my love.
She's dressed for the occasion. So.
She is. Oi, oi, oi.
Oh.
No. Do you want a mama?
No, it's okay. She can
Meet
give it.
Cairo.
It's just all the lights and, you know, like she's like her first show.
Oh my God.
Already a celeb.
Already a celeb,
Already
I
a
know.
celeb. Yay.
Hey, baby.
No. Shoo, shoo,
Come
shoo,
on, go to mama, and then I'm gonna be cooking now. So on this side, so the microphone is not covered. There we go.
Here we go.
See, immediately.
She can smell me. Of course she can.
Ken, hi.
Hi.
Come on, I'll take over these courgettes. Come on. So, a lot of things in the pipeline. I would love to get a bit of a sneak peek for later to see if we can have exclusive kind of announcement of some of the plans. Maybe
Yeah,
you
why
guys
not?
have.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you guys are really big on picking the right hospitals, working with the right doctors. You're
Yes.
very selective with that.
We're very selective with that.
So how does the whole process work, and how was the response of the industry when you actually first went to them and told them about your plans and what you want to do?
Yeah, so consider that because, for example, my father-in-law introduced me already like to some warm contacts here in London.
Yeah.
The initial conversation were quite easy, you know, like because you're not a stranger.
Yeah,
And
it
then,
always helps to have a warm intro.
Exactly, you know, like especially between doctors because they're like, who are you? Like you don't even have a medicine degree and so on.
Yeah, you're not a doctor.
In picking the clinics, we do a lot of, so, you know, there are some people that wants to like digitalize more the process, you know, make it, have the conversation, the communication with the patient, make it easier and so on. So it's always like good to, okay, she needs to, well, I'll handle her back.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Otherwise she's not gonna,
Well, the question was actually how was the response of the industry and the market when you went to them with your idea?
So basically, my father-in-law introduced me to a lot of doctors here in London, and also like another gynecologist in the family is like my husband's cousin. I mean, they're all gynecologists basically, which is very handy.
Very handy.
Especially when you just have a baby.
Yeah.
And basically, they introduced me to a lot of work. They introduced us to a lot of warm contacts here in London.
Yeah.
Which it really helps, especially in the medical community, to gain the trust. And then we do a lot of due diligence for picking the clinics. Usually there are clinics that they want to improve their communication with the patient, digitalize a lot of processes. They want to do things in a different way because they realize, you know, like now the demographic of patients that I'm dealing with, it's very different. So they do a lot of, like they want to basically improve what they are doing today.
Yeah.
And that really, that's the clinic, you know, like that we're working with. They want to attract the right patients, let's say.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, like we go obviously on site, we check with them. And there's a lot of work, you know, my co-founder Yasmin, she's the best product person ever existed in the world.
Why?
Because she is fantastic, and she has like just a very quick understanding of how the patient journey works. So, you know, like it goes both ways. The clinics wants to implement their communication with the patients, and the patients wants to communicate better with the clinic, faster, and so on. And she has just like a touch and understanding for how the patient journey works.
And then that also is so important in terms of also like the product pipeline, right? Like a longer term, where do you want to end up?
Yeah.
Which kind of leads me to your question, what's the dream? Like what is the big vision?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, you know, like that we always talk about, you know, what's the next step, what we're gonna do next to help the patients. And at the end of the day, the big idea is that we're not gonna just basically do a help with egg freezing, but we're gonna help women understanding better their health. So, you know, like hold the condition that on the obviously just in looking at fertility and gynecologist conditions, they affect women, because there's a lot to do in this specific area, and there's a lot of lack of information, lack of data. For example, even if you think about conditions like endometriosis or fibroids, or, you know, like anything really that is dealing with the reproductive women's system, we would like to get to that specific stage. I don't know, you know, like if we're gonna have, like there's so many services that you can provide to women in this space. So, you know, like we have to see what also like obviously is the demand for it. But the idea is that we're gonna be the women's health company for Europe. We're thinking to just concentrate in Europe, to be fair.
Yeah?
Yes.
So that's boiling.
Yay.
And
that's boiling. Let's add the salt.
You want to add some salt and some pasta? How long are we going to be cooking pasta for?
Make it al dente?
Was it written in the pack?
Probably, but you don't know that by heart by now?
No, I don't know which pasta it is. Every pasta is different, you know.
Mamma mia.
But if you don't have it, I will say 8 minutes, then
we have it here.
Let's check.
What does it say?
I think 10 to 12 minutes.
10 to 12 minutes. Do you want more pasta? Is that enough pasta?
No, I think it's perfect.
Perfect.
I think 12 minutes is a bit too much.
Okay.
I'll put it 10, and then we can figure out if it's enough.
Let's have a timer on 10 minutes, guys.
But this is Maldon sea salt. I mean, I put it in the pasta, but...
you have also normal salt over there. So,
yeah,
whatever you want.
Take this one.
So, back to my question, actually, what was the response of the investor community to your idea?
So, interesting question.
I love asking you that question because you are one of the very few founders who just broke their balls and like didn't take any shit.
No. So essentially, when we realized that we needed to raise money, it was obviously you panic a little bit at the beginning. I'm like, I've never done this before, what I'm gonna do. And I basically ask around, what are you doing, what are you not doing? So what we did is we wanted to raise at the beginning just with angel investors. And we did raise a lot of money just from angel investor, which are like main contacts, you know,
so
like
more like
friends,
family friends?
Family and friends kind of round.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like a friend interested to a friend and so on. So basically, you know, like we did that.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the day, we started also like conversation with VCs, bigger companies and so on. And at the beginning, VCs, they were not interested. We had few conversations, nothing really went well. And we were like, okay, fine, let's just raise a smaller round with the angel money that we have, and that's gonna be it. Then,
Did that scare you?
No. Look, one thing about like female founders companies that we are very, very careful about spending money. I feel like men, they're spurging, men, they're spurging money like this. We have a when we sat down, me and Yasmin, we had a very low spending because also like she does all the product and I'm like more on the commercial side and I can deal with the relationship stuff. So, you know, like we could handle a lot of things between the both of us and we didn't need a huge capital to do it because she was actually developing the product.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe some founders spend a lot of money in having a product outside.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, we went back to this VC that we spoke in the past that said no to us at the beginning. But we were like, oh, look, we have a lot of updates. There are 4 months past. We have achieved this. We have first pay in clinic and so on. So, you know, like we had some actual...
something to show
something
for.
to show for.
Yeah.
And we received an offer from them.
Oh, no way.
We received an offer from this VC.
Okay.
I have to say, like the lady that we used to deal with, she was fantastic. She is fantastic.
Right.
And you know, like I always say, you know, like she basically, you know, like she opened up the doors for us, also for our confidence, because after a little, like after 200 no's, you're like, I'm doing something wrong.
It's a hard one.
Like it's an hard one.
Can we say which VC was that?
Yes, we can say. I need to remember it. Help? Fuel. It was
Fuel.
sorry,
Okay.
it was Fuel Venture,
Yeah.
and we were specifically dealing with Joanna. So, like, thank you, Joanna. Like we
Thank
say
you, Joanna.
Joanna publicly. Joanna was fantastic in all the process. We received an offer from Fuel, and that also boosted up a lot our confidence. At the same time, a friend of mine introduced us to another VC. And we started a conversation with them at the same time that we started with Fuel. And the day after, we received another offer from this other VC.
No way.
Yes.
When it rains, it pours kind of way thing with you, right? With
Exactly.
the whole process.
Obviously, you know, like I like to be transparent. So we were saying to Fuel, we're speaking also with other people. And then we received an offer from Ascension. And then, you know, like I remember actually it was a Friday morning when we received the offer from Ascension. I remember Yasmin calling me like, Sarita, I can't, like, fuck it, I can't believe it. I was like, also like, we were both so excited. I'm like, we're actually doing something that, you know, like it's working.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we sat down, you know, it was a hard decision.
To pick
choose.
who to go with as your, like a main investor?
Yes,
Right.
because we really like Joanna and we wanted to work with her. And then, you know, like also like Ascension, we were dealing with this guy that I knew him, like I met him through a friend, but we didn't know him that well. So we were like, okay, we love this person, but this offer is better, what we're gonna do. So we had to sit down a lot, think it through.
Yeah.
And then another thing happened with Ascension is that they introduced us to the love of our life, which is Sonia, that works at Ascension. So another thank you, Sonia.
Okay.
And we were like,
they knew.
They knew.
They were like,
knew,
she loves Joanna, we gotta give her someone that she will love maybe equally.
Exactly. So basically at the end of the day, you know, like we got introduced to Sonia
Yeah.
from Ascension and we were like, oh my God, we love Sonia.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, fine, you know, fine. We have now a new contact at Ascension, the offer is better. We're just gonna take the better offer because it's the best decision for the company. And we closed the round.
And that's a really great example of, like I always say, people buy from people.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So like it's all about who you want to be in bed with.
Basically.
Not necessarily literally.
And also,
but,
like, to be
you know.
fair, Zerabin.
Yep.
Like, because, you know, actually another thing that you should know about Italians is that we don't eat garlic. We
Really?
use it to make it flavor.
Love garlic.
We use it to flavor the thing, but we never really eat it. That's the thing. that
That's
we
weird.
cook, yeah.
I don't know if we can be friends after this. So actually, there was something that happened while you were setting up your company.
Yeah.
A certain individual gave an interview that really skyrocketed and sparked the interest of the market, specifically in your company and in what you guys do.
Yeah.
Her name is Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Jennifer Aniston's post.
Ah, Jennifer Aniston. I was like, who's this? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was like, that for us was like, we got articles from actually also Soho House, like people were calling us to say, yeah, because Jennifer said to basically do yourself a favor and freeze your eggs. And she came out saying that, you know, like she had a very painful fertility journey and, you know, actually a lot of IVF and stuff. And people were criticizing her for not having kids.
Oh, yeah.
But they actually...
That's been following her throughout her whole kind of life.
Yeah, like that was poor thing, like I
Yeah.
feel like very sorry for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically she said that, and after that, like basically like people realize, oh, okay, egg freezing is actually a thing,
Right.
So
And it's a little bit, it's interesting that it takes a celebrity or someone with a platform to give you the validation. And then everyone perks up their ears.
Also, if you notice, I watch also like Selling Sunset, and every episode of Selling Sunset, all the ladies, they're saying, freeze your eggs.
Really?
Yes, or like I froze my eggs. Like there's like in every episode of Selling Sunset, they're mentioning fertility, egg freezing, or like that they did embryo freezing, all of this. So like, I mean, like again, it's like it's interesting that you need the market to tell a celebrity to tell you, but like people are becoming more and more aware of what's happening.
And they're getting educated about it.
Yeah.
Now,
is there a way to lower this or no?
Yes. Well, which one do you want? Do you want this lowered?
This lower to
There you
fine. Yeah,
go.
perfect.
How many minutes do we have on pasta? Do we know? 2 minutes. So do you want to try a little bit?
Yeah.
Let me
see. No, it's not right. We need another minute.
Oh, you can tell by just looking at it? Okay.
Yeah, it's the color.
It's the color.
Yeah.
I usually just pinch it.
But,
Or like some people, I saw this like a crazy videos. Italians probably are really not really amused by those videos. People like throw it against the wall.
Throwing a wall to the wall?
Yeah.
I'm not even. People break spaghetti. That's a crime. Like in Italy, like that, like we can finish a friendship for that, for breaking spaghetti.
Let's do a little bit of a maybe blitz questions around pasta and how people eat it, or pasta and pizza. And you tell me yes, no, and your anger levels.
Okay, bye. I'll tell you. Go for it.
Breaking the pasta.
That's unacceptable. Like that's like we're not friends anymore.
Thankfully,
Like it's not even not friends anymore. Like ending a friendship.
Ketchup with pasta.
I just think ketchup should be ejected from the word. So like, okay, but like between putting ketchup on the pasta and breaking the spaghetti, I think it's a worse crime to break the spaghetti.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ketchup on the pasta, from 1 to 10, 8.
Pineapple on pizza.
Unacceptable.
Chicken on pizza.
That's unacceptable. Like that's a 10, like raged out 10 out of 10. Pineapple 10 out of 10. Chicken 9. Understand that people sometimes do this stuff.
Okay.
9.
And the last one, I actually saw a video of someone making that.
Okay, I'm scared.
And the Italian person eating it and going, it's actually not bad.
Okay.
Ready?
Bye.
Nutella on spaghetti.
If you don't put the salt, like you can do a lot of stuff with spaghetti.
Yeah, I mean, essentially it's a dough.
Yeah, I would not make me that angry. I would put like a 6.
The anger on the anger scale.
On the anger scale. But because understand, if you don't put salt, they can be very bland. So maybe if you mash them and even put the Nutella, you cannot even tell. So yeah.
Okay. It's not as bad of a reaction as I was expecting.
No, it's okay. I think it's the worst one is the pineapple on pizza and the chicken on pizza. That's not acceptable. Or even the chicken, the pasta. Look, I'll tell you another thing. So if you go to an Italian restaurant, and on the menu you have, we need to I think it's.
Yeah, do you wanna put it on the?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
is that ready?
Yeah,
is that good color?
Let me try. Okay. Let me. Let's go. Yeah. Put it.
Good. Buono.
No, leave it at 30 seconds.
Okay. So tell me, what were you saying?
If you go to an Italian restaurant and they have a chicken anywhere in the menu that is not a dish aside, it's not an Italian restaurant. Like it's just pretending to be.
Well, since we are talking a little bit about kind of off-picing and talking about Italian food, your favorite Italian restaurant in London?
So my favorite Italian restaurant in London, that's a difficult one.
There are not that many.
No. So there was one that closed next to where I live, which was called Terra Trattoria. That shut down because now the guys just do catering, and they were doing the best handmade pasta ever. I think now it's ready. Yeah.
It was,
So these guys.
Yeah.
And then there's actually one that does a great pasta in Covent Garden. I forgot the name.
Okay.
The one in Covent Garden that do the pasta. They handmade the pasta.
Ooh, yum.
So it's like, I think it's called Bancone.
I've been there.
Bancone is good.
Although
But that's it. You can just eat pasta. Okay.
joking on pasta.
It's okay. It's okay.
I actually been there, and I had this pasta dish that was like with an egg and
Yeah.
walnuts, and it was just had so many walnuts, and I was just like, it
Really?
just kind of
Okay.
like, but generally their pasta is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Generally, the pasta is good.
So I'm gonna remove this, and
Yeah.
as a last section of our interview, before we dig into that delicious pasta,
Yeah.
I would love to. Woo! I nearly threw it all on myself.
No, huh?
We don't need any burns here, huh?
No.
The last actually topic that I really wanted to kind of talk about is how was it being pregnant while raising money, while launching your company, because a lot of eyebrows could have been raised, and I loved how you handled yourself in front of those people.
Yeah. Okay. So, we sat down, me and my co-founder.
Yeah.
And we thought about how we're gonna handle this.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the beginning, we were like, let's not mention it, because we were scared that we could lose investments. Okay. So like, it's a fact, like we were scared that we would lose investment, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of women are still scared of like losing investments.
Yeah.
So that's a reality of the thing. The reality of the thing is that after few months, we realized, you know what, fuck it, doesn't matter. You know, like if we lose investment for a fertility company because I'm pregnant,
Yeah.
they're not the right people. to
Then it's
invest.
not the right investor for you.
Exactly, that's not the right investor for
Right.
you. And basically, we can put all the cheese now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we stopped caring about it. And that's it. I mean, I was going to all the events and acting normal. And at the end, people just act normal. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, like, it's like more like of a fault that you have, because at the end of the day, now we have to normalize this. That's it.
Yeah.
Like the reality is that we have to normalize it, and we have to stop being scared about. I mean, like, it's crazy that we were scared. I'll tell you also another thing.
Yeah.
Is that I did receive a comment from one of our investors about, instead, like, my maternity now, like how I'm gonna handle be a founder and having a child. And I didn't appreciate the comment at all. So
What did you tell him?
I said, I can handle my private life, you think about yours, and there's nothing I don't have anything else to tell you. Because,
And I love that, just cutting it off, and it's like, it is your private life.
It's none of your business. I'll handle my life, you handle yours, and that's end of the story.
And
But,
I think it's also like what was really impressive, and that I think also that was the reason why so many of your investors were infused with confidence, was that you girls were extremely prepared.
We were,
You
yeah,
know,
we are.
I'm gonna have a
For sure.
baby. I know when I'm having the baby. I know who's gonna take over my duties, and so all of it was very much planned, and you prepare for it, and there are no surprises.
100%. We had also like a person. Is there a fork?
Yeah. I'll grab you a fork. Yeah.
We were extremely. I mean, like we hired, not hired, but there's like a person that was taking over my duties while we were away, and also to be fair. Our new head of marketing, Dana, is acting basically like a co-founder, and Yasmin also like can handle anything anyway.
Yeah.
So like we were like all very extremely prepared, because we are all passionate about what we are doing, and we want to help people out there, women out there.
Yeah.
So like it was just a very easy decision to make.
Amazing.
We need also some butter. We have butter.
Yes, we do have butter.
So
Ooh,
basically,
I love butter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. This recipe requires some butter.
So we're gonna be wrapping this up and tasting this delicious food. Actually, I haven't eaten that much today. We have cooked some dishes, but you know, like when you're on the go, and people, when I always
you're
was
hungry.
like, when people say like, oh, this much fine.
Yeah.
When people are like, oh, I forgot to eat.
You did forget to eat.
Well, it's just like you have no time to eat, kind of thing. So
Yeah. It
but-
makes sense.
But I knew you were making pasta, so I was like, I'm gonna eat that for sure.
Is this one? Which one is
You want to
this?
switch it on?
Yeah, very low because I
Very
need to
low.
melt the butter.
Okay, to melt the butter, cover that butter. I always love to finish every episode asking our guests for advice. Whether it's an advice to other female entrepreneurs or, you know, generally entrepreneurs in a specific field. What is there one single advice that you would give to an entrepreneur, and something that you would have done maybe differently, or you've done it and you loved it?
Yeah, so I would say, you know, like we do a lot of stuff. We have a lot of things in our mind that stop us from doing acting. You know, in this case, for example, like we talk about fundraising.
Yeah.
Fundraising is one, like when you're pregnant, or, you know, like you put like a lot of barriers to yourself as a woman.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you just, I think, need to go with it.
Just
Because
go for it.
we have to normalize things. You know, like I think like now I have a daughter, I have the duty to just make this world a better place for her and easier for her. So in the future, she will not go through like bias because she's pregnant, she's fundraising, you know, she's a female founder, she has a company. Oh, so why are you staying at home and, you know, like have a family? Also, I think, you know, like a society that sees the woman as the only caretaker of the feminine stays at home is just an enemy of itself, because, you know, like mixed team are proven to be the best. So there's always need to be a balance between women and men in a corporate or, you know, in a company and so on. So, you know, like that's, I think, you know, like that's something that I would not be scared anymore. And again, if I would not have fear anymore for like thinking about that. That's for sure something that I would tell to all the women out there. And another thing that I'm telling women out there is that now I also gave birth. Okay, so like being pregnant, giving birth, and also like I'm very lucky that I'm breastfeeding. So like all of these three things compared to fundraising a round of money, it's nothing. Like fundraising compared to pushing a human out, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like really, like, so all the mothers out there, you can have a company, you know, like it's not even comparable how difficult that is. And, you know, raising a human, like
Being responsible
be
for
responsible,
that human, for
you know?
sure.
Yeah, it's like there's not a term for this. So like literally all the mothers out there, please have a company, you know, because you can totally do it. That
Amazing.
is nothing compared to this. Oops.
I love that. I can't wait to tuck into this pasta, shall we?
Shall we? Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do a taste test.
Taste test.
Let's get this off. Right. So,
Let's try.
oh my God, it smells so good.
It's good. That's good. Happy days. Yeah. Let's cheer for the pasta. I like it. There's like
Did you want the other side?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Is that a
That's
pasta spin?
We can eat it, no?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do one more bite. And I have something for you that we can.
I'm happy now.
Honestly,
No.
the cheese makes everything
100%, yeah.
taste so amazing. So, I have a little present for you to say thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So hold that thought.
Yes.
I'm coming. have beautiful roses for you. And actually, it kind of matches your top.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for being such a kick-ass. Thank you for being so unapologetic. And most of all, thank you for being such an amazing friend for so many years.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for inviting me.
Amazing. That's a wrap, guys. Now we can all eat pasta.